Okay, so today is Wednesday. This is the last week of production, technically speaking. We've still got stuff that we're filming in the next month or so, but for the most part this is the end of production, which is just a weird feeling. I feel like I've been doing this for so long now. My body is shutting down and I don't really know what it's like to have a normal week. It has been very fun. Even though I'm exhausted and I'm tired, it's been pretty fun. I'm currently in the process of cooking food. I've got fucking 900 grams of beef that I'm frying right now because it's bulking season or something, I don't know. We are pretty well en route to being done everything that we need to tomorrow. So then we've got Friday as free reign to get everything extra that we need to get done. And then we've got next week as some last minute contingencies if we need it. But mostly we'll be using it as the pack down for the set. We'll be saying goodbye to the location because our lease is up. It's only a 2-month lease, so that's all we get. And then it'll be on to the editing. We were going through the footage today, everything that we've got so far that we've backed up. And it's not everything just yet, there's still a lot more to back up. And we realized how much footage there actually is. There is currently 12 terabytes of footage. That's terabytes. There's 12 terabytes of footage. And keeping in mind, we filmed a lot of things in 1080p because it's being converted to VHS. I'm not really gonna have the best time going through all of that footage. We're really gonna have to figure out some sort of system to go through everything, but hopefully we can figure that out and actually just smash it out. I'm excited to do that part of it, but I'm really scared that the amount of footage is going to be a bit of an issue for us. Regardless, it is, like I said, Wednesday, nearly done with filming. It has been quite the journey, but has to come to an end eventually because this game does need to release at some point. Yeah, that's all I got right now. I gotta finish cooking, so I'm gonna go. I'll bring you along for the last couple of days of production and see you soon. Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body. It has been a very chaotic period of time. I have wrapped completely on the video game project that we've been working on, which feels like a weird one to actually say. The caveat with that statement is that we're not technically done with filming. We're just done with principal photography. Just film terms, you wouldn't understand it. And essentially, for anyone watching that is not film oriented, basically means that the main bulk of what we're filming, the core filming, if you must, for the game, is all completely
finished. Did I just flash you there? I've got shorts on underneath. It's all good. There's no nudity on this channel. I didn't really film too much, and I just wanted to kind of reflect a little bit on, you know, how it all played out, and what my thoughts are after 7 weeks of straight production, and obviously with the extra production work that we've got to do. I didn't really know where to set up for this. I wanted to just kind of, you know, lay back and lounge around and just kind of ramble, but this was the best spot I could think of, so hello, this is what you get. Yeah, first things first is that, you know, 7 weeks of my life has just gone towards this. A lot of work. The most amount of production work I've ever put into anything. If you are familiar with my work and what I do, or if you've scoured the channel, you would have seen a video from about 4 years ago, talking about how I was working on a project and having imposter syndrome, and not really knowing why that was coming up, and feeling a little bit fish out of water, but also being confident on how things went. And I never really explained what happened with that project, but we ended up cancelling it, and because of contracts and vague legal orders, we just ended up cancelling it altogether and just not pursuing that. It was a waste of a lot of money, it was a waste of a lot of time, and it set us back a few years, which, looking back on, was a lot more, you know, mentally draining than I thought it was going to be. Coming into this project this time around, I was a little bit more, how you say, scared about the possibility of, you know, running into some sort of hiccup with production and just cancelling it, and then wasting all this money and wasting all this time, because it was like 8 months of pre-production work to get to this stage, and I've gotten through it, and this is the first time I've ever felt what it's like to have, you know, gotten through principal photography on a big major project like this, and it feels really good. It's quite scary. I don't really know how to verbalize it, but it's kind of a scary feeling, because now we've just got all of the post-production work, and it's all us again. There's no team. It is just me and 2 other people, max, that are working on this. Software is already done. We don't need to code anything. We'll just basically, all of the clips need to be dragged into Unity and obviously tested, and once it's all been tested, then we've got a game. So like I said, it feels good, but I'm a little bit flat about it. It was a really, really good time. I really enjoyed myself on set, and it's a really, really great feeling to have gotten past that threshold of, you know, completing principal photography, which is a huge deal. We haven't really had time to sort of sit back and soak it all in, but the little part of me that is just a little bit skeptical is it's the part of me that knows that we're not done really with filming. Basically, we got 2 weeks ahead of filming. We were tracking really well for getting extra content done. We did end up getting extra content done, and with our spare time, we decided to write more content for the game. The game that we're making is a live-action multiplayer party game. All of the content in the game will be live-action filmed, bar a couple of scenes which will just be 2D graphics and 2D animation, but 99.9% of the game will be live-action, and it's multiplayer game, party game, play with your friends, yada yada. I will go into all of the details in that in a future video, but we decided that this specific genre of creating full motion video games is something that originally was a single player experience. So we thought it would be a good idea to write a really small single player mode for the game. And it's released as a completely free DLC after the fact. And we've got all of this to film now. We've got, core ideas out of the way in terms of the script and the story, but we have some script writing to do. We have, planning the set to do. And then we have 4 full days of filming spread across 4 weeks. And it feels a little bit disingenuous to be saying that we're completely done with the project and we've still got time on set, So the feeling about production closing or production wrapping is I'm really proud of myself of where we've been able to get this project, but it is also a little bit bittersweet because I know that we've got more content to film later down the line. Everything that we filmed looks so good. It was a really good feeling on set because everyone was on board with the project. Everyone was really, feeling it by the time that we wrapped production. Everyone was really getting into the groove of things. We've had really good feedback from people that we've spoken to about the project. People that we've, that have been involved in the project, whether it's full-time or, part-time. Pretty well everyone that we have spoken to has given us good feedback on what we're making and think that it is a really solid idea. The part that basically is completely unknown and quite terrifying is knowing whether or not it's going to work. We did 8 months of pre-production and did a lot of market research and put a lot of time and effort into understanding what we were making and whether it was a marketable product, and it is something that people would want to play based on what we've researched. There is a real kick on retro things. Like, nostalgia's big at the moment. We're very big on nostalgia. Fashion's nostalgic, music is nostalgic, movies are nostalgic. A lot of TV shows are now going down that nostalgic route of not necessarily pandering, but going down the route of showing things from the 2000s and the 2010s and the 90s. It is a big thing at the moment. We have the data that's basically telling us that there is something there that will possibly do well, which is a really exciting prospect. When it comes to marketing it, we have no idea. So we've put in all of this work, and the big fear at this point during production is that we're going to do all of this work. We're going to spend 8 months in pre-production writing the project, scrapping ideas. We're going to spend 4 years essentially working in the industry and writing ideas and conceptualizing games and canceling games and no longer pursuing games, ultimately to get to this point of wrapping on production here, and then to go into post-production and have everything completely edited, all the videos rendered out and converted to VHS and then put back into Unity and all kind of bundled together in this all kind of bundled together in this game project, and it could all basically be pointless if for some reason we don't market it well, or people just don't get on board with it, or the wrong people see it and we don't target the right people. On set we do a lot of self-deprecating jokes about this exact topic, and it is something that comes up in conversation, what if this doesn't work out? What if this, isn't something that people would buy and our research is wrong and people aren't actually as interested in this concept? Because, we are hopefully still, by the time we've released the game, we're currently on track to being the first multiplayer FMV game, I believe. based on all our research, where no one else has done a multiplayer FMV. Will people actually want to play it? Because there's case studies on whether certain party games work that are similar. And then there's case studies on whether FMV games work, but there's nothing to kind of meet in the middle with the two ideas. And that, yeah, pretty much that's just something that we have thought about quite a lot, and I think it's going to come up a lot more moving forward, but ultimately we can't know, and there's no point really thinking about it too much. Like, we're going to make the game anyway, and if it doesn't do well, it doesn't do well. Like, we have things that we can be doing. Like, we have our video production stuff that we can still pursue. Like, it's not the end of the world, but it's just, it's just something that comes up, and I got fucking potatoes done. It is, it's something that has come up in conversation throughout production, and something that's going to continue to come up in conversation through post-production, and there's nothing we can really do about it except for just do the best that we can possibly do, and just kind of work on it and make it as good as we can with the resources that we have, and just try to not overthink it. I think one thing that we have learned from being on this project is to be more intentional with what we're doing. It's kind of a mixture of that, and now knowing what it's like to be on a set, even though it is self-contained with, you know, me and my business partner and like a couple of other people. It's a very tight-knit set and not very traditional. It is something that it has been very valuable, you know, working with actors and working with people that are just interested in what we do, and like-minded people, and, you know, making connections as well in the industry. That's another big thing, is that if we don't do well with this for whatever reason, we have the opportunity to go and work on other things with a group of just like really great actors and people who are in the industry, and it's just, I don't know, it's good for the plot. I think it's nice to have done this and to have met new people and to be put in a almost fish out of water situation again. I'm not a professional director. I work in video production, but I'm by no means a professional DP, or I'm not a professional cinematographer, or I'm not a professional director, or I'm not a professional producer. This is my first crack at, but it's my first proper attempt at creating something as an all-rounder director, producer, writer as well. That's another thing. There's so many mistakes in the script, but you can't really fault it because it's my first time, and that's how you learn. All of that combined, and connecting with people in the industry, and, you know, getting to know everyone and making those connections, I think that is what has been most important so far. It's been really good to just, you know, have conversations with people, understand what the industry is like from their perspective, and get the perspective of where we're coming from, and just kind of like collaborating on the whole thing. One of the big things with production is that we minimize the amount of scripting that we were going to do, and a lot of it was going to be improvised with a general idea and a bit of, you know, stage direction and scene direction, but mostly improvised based on what our scene direction was. And it was so good. It was so good working with people who were like naturally funny and just know exactly what we're wanting, and then having our scripted part of the project be something that we can collaborate with the actor on. He understands, you know, that we're not going to have a full script written out in final draft. Like, it was very like guerrilla filmmaking style. It was all done on spreadsheets, and we sent through the spreadsheets to the actors, and they understood the assignment basically from just us sending through these fuck-ass documents that just made no sense. It's made us very, very good at, you know, preparation and the planning stage. So yeah, I think there's a lot to be learned from the whole situation, but I'm glad that it's happened, and I'm very excited to see how things go with the edit and how the project ends up looking. Anyway, I just wanted to ramble for some amount of time I don't know how long this video is going to be. It's currently sitting at 22 minutes of me just talking, so sorry future me for having to edit this, but it was necessary. It's for the greater good. The greater good. That's a Hot Fuzz reference, if you didn't catch that. Yeah, I just wanted to ramble. I wanted to talk about the project. It is the last week at the moment. I'm a bit late on uploading this, but I just wanted to get it out there and just have my thoughts in some sort of visual diary, I guess. Have it noted on the internet. There's some record now of me in my headspace at this exact moment in time, which is kind of nice. There's a beauty to that. There's nothing really, like, interesting or poetic about this whole situation. It is just a reflection on how things have been. I do have some videos planned that are a little bit out of the norm from what I normally make, then less vlog and more, observational videos, but we will cross that bridge when we reach it. Anyway, thank you if you have watched this video. I know you have, Beth. I know you're watching, Beth. How you doing? Hey, beautiful. I do actually want to say, though, thank you for cooking me food and making the bed and keeping the house clean and just kind of supporting as much as you could throughout production. Obviously, it was kind of tough to basically take on 200% of the load, but it is very, very appreciated, and I can't stress how much it has helped. So thank you. I love you and I appreciate you. Thank you so much. That's pretty well what I'm trying to say. I guess same goes for anyone else that's watching. I love you and appreciate you, and here's to I don't actually have a drink to cheers, but here's to post-production and not having any sleep and converting everything to VHS. Anyway, thank you for tuning in for this little ramble. I appreciate you. Love you long time, and I will see you very soon with some other sort of content of some sort. Love you. Bye.